Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on the general quadratic formula. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. If you would like to subscribe now, please do so here. Otherwise, you can subscribe at the end. A recap. We saw in an earlier video how to solve quadratic equations by factorization using the crisscross method. This is a useful method when the answers are rational numbers. When the answers are irrational numbers, the above method is not suitable. The general quadratic formula. Once again, the general quadratic formula or equation can be represented as follows. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The next slide will show the general quadratic formula, which is used to solve quadratic equations which have irrational roots. From the previous slide, the general quadratic equation can be represented by ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are integers or whole numbers. The general quadratic formula used to solve the above quadratic equation is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It is important to note here that b squared minus 4ac must be greater than or equal to 0. If that is the case, then we can find the square root of the number under the square root sign. If this number under the square root sign is less than 0, then we're asked to find the square root of a negative number, and we can't do that because the answer will be a complex number, and that's not inside our scope at the moment. So the b squared minus 4ac must be greater than or equal to 0, and then the answer will be a real number. It will be irrational. It might be an irrational number, but that doesn't matter. It will exist on the number line. So this is very, very important to note here. That stipulation there is crucial. The next slide will show how to apply the above formula. The formula again is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac on 2a. It would be useful to memorise this. It's a very, very good formula. So if you can memorise it, that would be helpful. Here's an example. Use the general quadratic formula to solve x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. You can see that a equals 1, b equals 2, and c equals minus 1. We substitute these three numbers into the formula. Straight substitution gives us that. That's very straightforward. Solving these numbers here under the square root sign, 2 squared gives us 4, and minus 4 by minus 1 gives us 4. So from this line to this line, we have minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 8. If we remember from an earlier video, the square root of 8 is 2 the square root of 2. So that's minus 2 plus or minus 2 the square root of 2 over 2. If we cancel out, divide top and bottom by 2, and that is the answer to the quadratic equation. You can see here that the answer involves an irrational number, and that's why we need the formula to help us find the answer. Here's another example. We're going to solve the equation 3x squared plus 2x minus 4 equals 0. A is 3, b is 2, and c equals minus 4. Straight substitution into the formula gives us that. Simplifying what we have under the square root sign, 2 squared is 4, minus 4 by 3 by minus 4 is plus 48. So from here to here, we have minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 52 over 6, which is minus 2 plus or minus 2 the square root of 13. So the square root of 52 is actually 2 the square root of 13. Divide top and bottom by 2, gives us minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 3. And that is the answer to the quadratic equation. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video if you need to do so. The answer to the puzzle, street corner. I like that one. And here's the answer to the quick quiz, and please check through the video at any time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe on the next slide and you'll receive a notification as to when the next video is available. Hope to see you next lesson.